What is up, everybody? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got some new stuff in this week. Let's take a look at it. All right, first thing that's in this week is going to be the CJRB Lyrid. This is a very interesting option here. Crossbar lock, got a nice sheep's foot blade with a belly on there. Cool flat scales with a little bit of texturing on here for some grip. Full steel liners, again, that crossbar lock on there. And then you do have a fold over deep carry pocket clip that is reversible. The blade steel on here is AR RPM9. I still am a huge fan of AR RPM9, but I am very excited to see some more steel in that SF2 to be able to do some testing. But I will do a full review and test on this one. I am interested in it. It's got a really thin blade stock on there. I think this is going to be a great option for a lot of folks for everyday carry. And CJRB, kudos to them. They did a fantastic job doing this crossbar lock. Very satisfying deployment on here for sure. But this is the Lyrid, so stay tuned for a full review on this one. All right, next up is going to be my Artisan Home. I really like the Home a lot. RPM 9 blade steel, another sheep's foot blade shape here. I like those utility blade shapes. They are very useful. Nice acrylic on here, button lock. This one here has proud steel liners. They are milled for weight reduction on here, so I do like to see that. And it does have that lock mechanism on here as well. Very satisfying deployment on the thumb studs, and then it does have a fuller on there when you're not pushing against that lock that you can reverse flick off of. Very satisfying too. Very thin, and it almost has like a semi crown spine to it. Just a great looking design overall. Really excited about this one, so we will do a full review on this one. Next up isn't a new knife per se, but I did finish the complete install of the Applied Weapon Tech scales on here with the Flytanium ball cage, and I'm really happy with the way that this one came out. Went with the blacked out hardware came on it, but I went with the Applied Weapon Tech's titanium hardware that is coated, and I did go ahead and grab their fold over steel clip. Went with the aluminum ball cage from Flytanium, and I really like that. I think I said Applied Weapon Tech for the hardware and the pocket clip, right? I hope I didn't say Flytanium. Flytanium aluminum ball cage and ceramic ball to round this one out. So full review will be coming for this one if it hasn't dropped already, including the install on this one. This one was a little bit different. It did have a little bit of tighter tolerances on it, so I ended up having to kind of thread lock and do like what I would probably call like a medium tighten down on this particular screw here. It was pinching and causing it to kind of bind up, but since doing that, it's been really good. Very minimal play with it, with the way that I have it set up currently. But I really love these skinny scales on the Mannix 2. They are fantastic, and it's a great size for everyday carry. So the full review for that will be coming. All right, next up, we got some goodies here from Traditional Pocket Knives. Austin is letting me check out his exclusive version of their budget-friendly hedgehog. He did include all kinds of swag in here. I do love that about Austin. Such a great experience on there, but this is the exclusive. You can probably tell by the picture here, you got the abalone. I don't know what color that is, and then some orange. And then there are some other colors here that you can kind of see that this one's going to come at you in. Let's go ahead and get this out of the box and have a close look at it. So really nice packaging, Traditional Pocket Knives QSB exclusive, which will mean that code JD10 will work for these. So do keep that in mind. More stickers and such in here, but this is the Spear Point Hedgehog, or as I like to call it, the Spear Hog. 14C28N is your blade steel. So this is going to be a very affordable option here. I did ask to check out the abalone because I wanted to match my Kentucky Holler Jack. If I can get it out of the package, guys. Go ahead and put all this away so we don't lose any of it. I love the penguin that QSB has pretty much made their mascot here. Get this stuff out of the way. We'll put that back up in the corner and take a quick look at this one. So all steel construction, and just like the jigged titanium version of the Spear Hog, just a really clean, almost seamless backspacer experience, contoured scales, steel bolsters, and as you can see, it has that abalone on the actual scales themselves. 14C28N blade steel, nice long pull, very nice out of the box, even not bad at all. Got some oil probably for the shipping here. Kind of feels like there's a little bit on the handle, and that may be that I got it on my fingers and then was handling the knife itself. So let's clean that off, and now let's take a really close look at that. Love that spear point blade shape, hollow ground, 14C28N. Very cool option. I bet these are going to be very affordable, especially with the code JD10 working on the exclusives from traditional pocket knives. This is such a great option. If you were ever curious about a modern traditional and you wanted to check it out, these are probably going to be it. Even if you're not a huge fan of the budget steels, 14C28N is going to be a steel that is very manageable. It is going to stay sharp and hold an edge a long time, especially with this hollow grind. It's going to have great cutting geometry. So this is definitely one to check out. Not bad out of the box, but you know, these break in and get even snappier. So I could see this breaking in. And as I mentioned, I do have today my Kentucky Hollow Jack. I set this to the side when I sat down to do this. The Kentucky Hollow Jack, a little bit of a smaller. This is more fifth pocket friendly. I can get these in the fifth pocket of some jeans, but generally kind of have, you know, probably about that much sticking out of the Spear Hog versus like that much of the Kentucky Hollow Jack. But really cool to see the variances here on that abalone. And then this also hollow ground. Is this S30? No, 154 cm. 154 cm, slight hollow grind. This has a more aggressive hollow grind on it. But I did want to match up my Kentucky Hollow Jack with this Spear Hog. I really love this abalone. I think it's such a cool look. All right, let's keep it going. Got one more left to take a peek at. All right, last but not least is an interesting one. So not a new model to me, but definitely my personal favorite from the Chris Reeves lineup. Now, if you follow the channel, you kind of know I have a little bit of an issue with a certain price threshold. I never tend to keep anything that goes over that because I am reluctant to carry it, don't want to damage it or anything like that. So talking to my buddy Jay Dizzle, he brought up a very good point, a very good call out. He was like, why don't you just get one that's already kind of been used and abused, not abused, but is a user, and has a little bit of love shown on it. And that way you get it for less and you're not as concerned about carrying it and doing anything to it because it already kind of has those love taps. So this is how we arrived at that. He had a friend in a group that he hangs out with and chats with, had this option available, very, very reasonable price, probably the cheapest Chris Reeves I've ever personally owned myself. There are a few things here. I don't think it had the card, or maybe the card is in here. Let me see. I kind of skipped past that. Can't remember exactly what he said was missing. We got some stickers, Chris Reeve. We got a product registration. It's never been filled out, but I don't know if it's been registered. S35VN, so it does have COA on here. S35 at 59 to 60. That's going to be a good heat treat for S35VN. And I think this is from 2015, it looks like. 2015? No, 2017. So July 28, 2017. So, you know, he just mentioned, why don't you just pick up something a little older, a little used and abused? You're not going to worry about it as much. Thanks for the Hank, by the way. I know he said he didn't have the cloth for this, but I wasn't expecting to really get anything with it at all, just the knife. And then, of course, some of the lube and stuff from Chris Reeve. I think I have White Lightning lithium that I generally use on these, but I thought that was a very interesting idea. So when he put me in contact with this person, I didn't get permission to say who it was. I was like, sure. And what he had mentioned was this one here has like a nick here, like a really small nick. It's not awful abuse. Trying to remember where he called out the other spot on here. Might have been on the blade, perhaps. And then he has Media Blast hardware, so he did I think a glass blast or a bead blast on here, but very nice. Trying to remember where he took a picture and showed it. Oh, right here. Right here, it looks like there's some scrapes. Going to be maybe hard to get it to show up on camera. But I really like the Umanzon hollow ground. Like I said, S35E, a good blade steel, very comfortable. This is something that I can see myself carrying and using, sort of like I did with my Shaman. Man, I loved the Shaman. I've just been waiting for the Bodacious to come out in a steel that's a little interesting to pick one of those up, because I liked the idea of not having the forged choil. I will say I like the Sabenza sharpening choil a little better than I do on the Umanzon. The Umanzon sharpening choil and plunge grind kind of early, in my opinion, but not awful. So thought it would be interesting to pick this up. Plan to immediately put this into the rotation. Forgot how much I like these. I've never really found a clip that I truly liked or loved, I should say, for the Umanzon. I think MXG Gear maybe Rips Garage maybe had one that was close. I don't really like the Lynch Northwest deep carry foldovers for these. They hang off the back too much. They have a new one now that's a 2-piece that has a filler, and then you just kind of put the pocket clip over top of the filler. Not sure how I feel about that. You know, I would just like a straight landing board milled pocket clip as opposed to a deep carry for this. But nice job on the finish here. It looks really nice. I know you could probably send these in for a spa upgrade. I think you can also do a purchase for a steel upgrade if you really wanted to. But like I said, for me, I just wanted something that was a little bit of a user that could have some character for me personally. But that's everything new in this week. Like I said, this is more about the build than it is the new knife for that Manix 2 lightweight. The Lyrid, I am very interested in checking out. Super thin blade stock on there. The Home, I think this actually, I already dropped the video for this one, and now that I'm thinking about it, may have already included that in what's new this week. So I do apologize if that is a repeat on here. I wasn't sure because everything kind of runs together a little bit sometimes with these types of videos. And then lastly, the Spirit Hog. I'm going to go ahead and do my review of this one first, because I think that's going to be dropping soon, and I have a feeling a lot of folks would be really interested in checking that one out. But this is everything new in this week. Let me know which one is the most interesting or most interesting ones down in the comments below. I will do my best to link everything and anything that I can. This may just be GP Knives and Blade HQ. I don't have any affiliate with Reeves. I don't have any affiliate with Spyderco, so again, it would be those websites as well. And then I do have direct affiliate links with all of these 3 knives down there below, and if you choose to pick one up and use the link, it will help the channel. Totally up to you. If you enjoyed the content, definitely leave a like. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Would love to have you follow along. I'm out of here, guys. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.